¿Recuerdas esa magnífica mansión embrujada en los parques temáticos de Disney? Pues esta vez llega una superproducción cargada de estrellas de Hollywood. Y aquí hoy te contaré todos los detalles del detrás de cámaras. Nos conectaremos con Jeffrey Waldron, su director de fotografía. Vamos a ver.
When my son and I moved in here, it wasn't as warm as we hoped. Okay, I'm gonna light a vanilla candle, and it's gonna be a game changer. Will it though?
Okay, so Jeffrey, how are you doing today? Thank you so much for your time.
Doing very good. Oh, yeah, my pleasure.
I need to say that the movie is incredible and it appeals so much to our nostalgia with the original Disney attractions. So congratulations for your work. To start off, could you tell us about your role and responsibilities as the photography director?
Sure. A director of photography, and I'll speak specifically to this film, is sort of tasked with taking the atmosphere, the feeling, sort of the visual fabric of experiencing this ride and making it into cinematic elements that play on a big screen. So while, Darren Guilford, the production designer, is the one who created all these fabulous sets, it's my job to make sure that we're framing them with beautiful compositions, taking cues from the lighting, whether it's candlelight or moonlight, and choosing colors for what those will be, choosing colors for what this ghost realm will be, choosing specific lenses for how you want the audience to feel, choosing lenses that either distort or create more of a portrait for more of an emotional moment. It's choosing all these different parameters, whether it's light, color, lens, camera motion, angle, the filter, the use of fog here, all motivation of light, whether it's lightning, candlelight, moonlight shafts, all these parameters sort of coming together so that when they make it through the lens, they give the audience the visceral feeling of, in this case, this ride and this emotional journey for Ben.
The Haunted Mansion movie required a unique blend of horror and comedy. How did you approach capturing the visual tone of the film to strike the right balance between these genres?
Sure. I mean, the first thing I did was study the ride a little bit, because the ride has this amazing ability to be spooky, but also make you smile all the time. And it's like, how did they do it? Was kind of the first sort of question. So studying, how dark they go, how horror they go, how bright they go, all these things, like what worked there. Now that's a ride, it's a 3-minute live experience. How do you translate that to a movie? And this movie has a lot more sort of big comedy than, the ride is some funny images. And it also has a lot sort of deeper scares than some of the sort of creepy iconography of the ride. So I decided not to make it look like a horror film, because if it looked like a horror film, it's very hard for it to be fun. I didn't want it to be bright like a studio comedy, just because I just never feel like that's a great aesthetic move, and it didn't feel right to be this sort of bright, flat comedy inside of a haunted mansion, which is by nature dim and moody. So I kind of created this sort of timeless and painterly sort of look, so that it had enough sort of lighting shape, it had a lot of mood, it had a lot of haze, it had a lot of moonlight and drama, so that it could at one time be spooky and be scary, and in the next second have enough richness and light and, again, painterly nuance that it could support these crazy characters. So yeah, it's a really hard balance, but I did it by deciding to make it neither a traditional horror movie or traditional comedy, obviously borrowing from horror icons, but not a traditional horror look at all.
I'm gonna finish with this, Jeffrey, and I'm curious, how long did it take to make the complete movie?
Yeah, that's a complicated question, because the initial shoot was, I think 60 days. But then there was additional photography And then there's so much that happens beyond my shooting. So there's all these visual effects, and there's actors coming in to do their motion capture. And I started on this film. This is probably a better answer. I started working in pre-production before the shooting. We go and prep for the film about 2 years ago right now.
Wow, that's a hard
It's been
work.
a long time.
So the final result, it's really amazing. And thank you so much again for your time, and congratulations for your work, Jeffrey. Thank you.
Thank you so much.
No. No. No.